everybody, we're back for the 5th and final match in the league. As a friendly reminder, if you do like modern content, especially of the red-based variety, please consider subscribing to the channel, as we aim to be the most informative channel for modern on YouTube. Another Lurrus deck, 4 lands. This feels a little rough. So this is a pretty good opening, but 4 lands just feels like... yeah. I've got a mulligan. This hand's just probably better overall. Guess I shouldn't. I mean, I'm feeling this is going to get fatal pushed. So, we up against Hardened Scales? Push something. Yeah, Dragon figures makes more sense. So, looks like Green Black Rock maybe? Swiss Spear, sure. Could be up against a Shadow variant, which would make Shocking In very dumb here. Okay. Yeah, sure, we'll keep that one on top. Teensy bit awkward, but we'll keep it on top. Put a little double or with Abrupt Decay here, possibly. Feels like Abrupt Decay. Sure. Of course, we couldn't get lucky to it being Assassin's Trophy. But a bit of an unfortunate start for the home team here. Okay. Dark Confidant, sure. See if they block. I think I'm perfectly accepting of a block here. Mutagenic Growth's an interesting one, but I don't think the card we're particularly interested in this matchup. Like, sure, it could force a trade with Treetop Village if our opponent's out of gas some way, somehow. Sure. Definitely not attacking with Swizzle Spear here. Another Abrupt Decay. Assassin's Trophy. Fan-frigging-tastic. Just have all the removal. Deny them the ability to manipulate the top of their deck. Because that's not getting through as long as they hold up Treetop Village. Shot's not terribly exciting here. I guess we hold that in case they like bring back Dark Confidant for some reason. Okay, in the end it doesn't matter because they have Abrupt Decay as their last card. Okay. We got a Bobble in the yard. We got a Tarmogoyf. Sprite Dragon, you say? Gets multiple draws here. It's really hard to beat the Fatal Push, Abrupt Decay, Assassin's Trophy, Abrupt Decay, Fatal Push draw on the top however many cards in their deck. So we bring in the Snags. Gut shots are pretty bad in this matchup. Spell Piercers that are like effective against some of their removal, but not all of it. Braids kill some of their creatures, but not all of them. Still think they might be better than some number of Lava Darts. And then maybe Trim and Opt. Tad bit of an awkward hand, but I do think it's fine. Stormwing Entity is one of the more difficult for them to kill creatures. Definitely a Stormwind turn. Yeah, I am not the least bit interested in that many lands. Nothing our opponent can play here can kill it. At least this turn. Sure. Obviously they could have Trophy. Sure, Tarmogoyf. Just use the opportunity to like double time walk them potentially. Especially if they use their mana before combat. Yeah, that's fine. Did miss a point of damage there. Yeah, I'm fine taking that hit-ish. They have Assassin's Trophy, this game's over, but there's not much we can do about it. Second Tarmogoyf seems less okay, but it's also whatever. Don't think that's lethal, but it's pretty friggin' good. So that's 5, 5. I guess it is lethal, never mind. Alright. So what a weird matchup. This hand is hecka awkward, but I do think we keep it. Presumably they have removal spells, but we gotta start working through them, so it is what it is. Fatal push does whatever a fatal push does. Yep. Tarmogoyf? 3-4 Goyfin time. Okay, land please. Land served up. Does look like they are short on lands, which I am not going to cry about. Pass turn. Yeah. Push, push. It's way too much mana to cast, so pass turn. Sure. The old artifact gets us. That was rough. 2-3 finish, kind of disappointing there. So our last two losses were close matches to Burn and to Black, Green, Rock, whatever. You know, we had a win over Control. We had a win over... I don't remember what the first two matches were, honestly. Just felt like we were a little soft to, obviously, all of our creatures being removed, but that's nothing new for Prowess. One of the inherent advantages over Prowess over something like Burn is the fact that it generally has a little bit faster of a clock. It does have a decent grinding game going on with, like, Light Up the Stage, Storming Entity, Bedlam Reveler, that kind of stuff. But really, it's much more vulnerable than Burn to its creatures being removed. As obviously, Burn has a much higher reach range as far as burning players out. But, you know, playing against two Lurrus decks, a little bit rough, especially when they can just answer your main threats. Obviously, one thing to note with the 2-color mana base, the way we have it set up with the Fiery Islets and whatnot, you know, we are taking quite a bit of damage from our lands, you know, whether we're relying on a Fiery Islet to cast our spells or having to shock for steam vents. You know, our opponent having Engineer Explosives there was a little bit rough. I mean, not a whole lot we could do about that. You know, it's kind of what that deck does. It just, like, kind of dumpsters creature decks to begin with, you know. Struggles against decks that go bigger than that, you know, Amulet Titan, Control, etc., regular Jund. So, you know, it's kind of a trade-off, you know. They're like the step right above Prowess in terms of, like, interaction and in-clock and whatnot. So, you know, generally the bigger deck wins in that case. Our main weapon, obviously, is Storming Entity. The only answer they really have to it is Assassin's Trophy, maybe some number of Dismembers. Can't really Abrupt Decay it, can't Fatal Push it, can't Engineer Explosives. You know, this is a card that's just very powerful in the execution of what it does, you know, but it does require some setup, whether it be Gut Shot, Mutagenic Growth. You know, that's one thing with Izzet, is we do take quite a bit of damage from our spells, you know, whether they be the Gut Shots, the Genic Growths, the Mana Base. You know, we won some long games against Burn, we lost some short games. You know, losing the Smash to Smithereens after like a 30-some minute match is a little bit rough. You know, maybe there was a point of damage I could have prevented somewhere. That's one of those matches. And then against Rock, you know, maybe I should have utilized that Vapor Snag a little bit earlier on to avoid taking unnecessary damage. There's a little bit of decisions like that. You just gotta like go back and watch with a deck like this. You know, a lot of early decisions, and they all matter. You know, especially when your life points are being decided. But I don't know. That last game against Rock, you know, with them Engineer Explosives our creatures away, having killed the Sprite Dragon. You know, without our creatures, even if we like Vapor Snag the Tarmogoyf and stayed alive, or the previous turn if I had like you know, maybe gone for the Lava Dart and killed the Tarmogoyf instead of like trying to balance the other one. You know, either which way, we were just kind of outclassed in that matchup. They just do what we do a little bit better as far as the removal and game plan. we're a little bit better of a you know, aggro deck. They're a little bit better of a control deck, and when those two met at roughly equal power level, you know, we lose because we're not the control deck. So, you know, we struggle to remove Tarmogoyf. That's part of the reason why we're playing Vapor Snags. As far as the list overall, oh, Tron was one of the other matches we played. Tron and Boggles. Yeah, I mean, there's not really a lot you can play for Boggles. Like, you could play Engineered Explosives, but that really doesn't play what this deck's strong suit is. Vapor Snags felt fine. Spell Pierces definitely came in. Braids saw some play. Cleansing Wildfire saw some play. Kozilek's Return saw some play. Second Bedlam Reveler came in. Dragon's Claws. Yeah, it's one of the things, you know, when you're playing like an aggressive deck or red decks in general, and you're checking out your like sideboard, okay, Cleansing Wildfires came in against Tron. Braids came in against Tron, Burn, so many other decks. Dragon's Claw came in against Burn. Vapor Snags came in against, you know, came in against the Blackburn Rock deck. Primarily here for Death Shadow, but also doubles decently in that matchup. Spell Pierces came in a lot. Kozilek's Returns came in against Burn. Bedlam Reveler came in quite a few matches as we're playing these long, grindy, kind of mid-range battles. So, you know, overall, you gotta look at your sideboard. You utilized it all. The main deck, you know, really, like, Gut Shots, sure, they underperformed, but we didn't really see any matchups that work where Gut Shot shines, or Lava Dart. We didn't see any, you know, Mana Dork decks. We didn't see any tribal decks. You know, most of the matchups we were playing, it's just not a good card. You know, but you need some amount of cheap spells to turn on Stormwing Entity. So, you know, what are you gonna do? Surgical somebody in the main deck? I mean, this isn't an Arc-like Phoenix or Dredge meta, so Gut Shot it is. Yeah. Anyways, thanks for tuning in to my rambling. Even though we went 2-3 in this league, I still like this deck very much. And it'll be back again in another 5-day cycle after we get through another Burn League. So, if you like this kind of content, please consider subscribing to the channel. And as always, this has been John for MTG Nexus. Hope to see you in the next video.